Do you see these women above? Most know them as very successful women. However, would you be surprised to know that they make 10% less of their male counterparts when it comes to business and sales? Hi, I'm Sheriden Bell, and the title of my TED Talk is Women. It's simple but very powerful. The topic of my talk is the oppression of women and the influence of women in our society. As a kid, I was raised around all girls. And my mom, being my biggest role model, was always installed into me that it's very important to value yourself as a woman. My mom is a very successful lawyer, so I'd always go to work with her because I wanted to be like her. When I would spend all my time there, I noticed that there were only 2 female judges in her entire courthouse. Until this day, there are still only 2. People tend to label me as a feminist, but I'm not a feminist. I'm just someone that believes women deserve equal rights just as anyone else. One of the first problems that leads to oppression of women is labeling. I was labeled a feminist simply because I thought that they deserved rights. And women are labeled on a daily to be crazy, sensitive, bipolar, and many more. Giving all women labels leads to stereotypes and the assumption that it's okay to continue to label them. For every 10 women in society, 8 will face oppression on the daily. It appears in all different forms. For example, oh, you want to be a firefighter? Don't you think that's a little bit of a manly job? And shouldn't you think you should pick a more feminine career? Which is kind of sexist. This may be a shocker to some, but the biggest oppressors of women are women. Don't get me wrong, I love Disney movies, but they can be viewed as the main reason young girls get the idea they might not be as strong as brave as males. Like movies like Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, and Snow White, etc. depict young women always depending on their male counterpart to save them. They're always a damsel in distress. This leads to grown women having the idea that, well, I've always been taught that I should not do this or I need a man, so why do I think I can do it now? And I'll be the first to admit that I've had times where I've been wanting to do something, wear something, say something, I thought to myself, well, I'm a girl, I can't do that, a man should be doing that, and I had to stop myself. Women underestimate and set low goals due to their fear of failure, the fear of being an example of and falling to the stereotype of women failing. However, failure is a main process of succeeding. Whenever a woman fails, I recommend her to not think, wow, I failed, I'm just stereotypes, but not yet. I haven't achieved where I want to be yet, but I can continue to grow and progress, and that'll continue to push women higher up in the level of society. I'm not going to use a race card, but in the U.S., about 15% less white women will be oppressed than women of color. White women are viewed in a better lighting than women of color. For example, black women, Native American, Mexicans. People of color usually tend to be associated with or tied into drugs or EBT or stealing and whatnot. Take the story of Yolanda. Yolanda used to use her name to try to get jobs of her own, but she couldn't get any. When she decided to use a white name, Madison, Amanda, Katie, she got 3 times as more job offers than she had ever gotten before. This type of oppression between races just leaves women as a whole more vulnerable to society, to not only continue to segregate women from men, but also women from women. Our gender must put aside our feelings toward other races and come together as one to stop the oppression of women of any race. So although women are oppressed, they are very influential and can have very positive impacts on society. For every tweet Beyonce, Taylor Swift, or Rihanna tweets out, 5 million people will favorite it or retweet it in less than 2.5 minutes. It's crazy. The amount of traffic they attract is completely outstanding to the cyber world. For example, Beyonce plays a huge role in supporting feminism. In 2010, only about 5% of people would openly call themselves feminists. But when Beyonce came out in 2011 with her song Girls, that goes around the world, Girls, it glorified women, and the survey was retaken, and a whopping 11% of women, or even male, will come out and say they were feminists. Also take Michelle Obama, who has influenced both male and women to exercise, eat better with themselves. Famous women influence about 45% of our society with clothes, music, whatever. So women influence a large part of the trends we follow today and are behind the scenes of huge companies like Apple, Microsoft, etc. Without women, our world will not continue to grow. The oppression of women is very important to me, and I feel like it should be important to you. To end the oppression of women, everyone, male and female, we must come together to give women better opportunities. For example, better jobs, better pay, better higher standards for women. We have to come together to peacefully achieve these goals. For example, if our community can come together and stop the oppression of women, not only will this help women in today's society, but it will also pave the role for future women. Hopefully this will lead to a more accepting society for the future. So I will leave my audience out with this question. If your future daughter was to have been born in this society and be treated the way our women are treated, would you want her to live in a better society? If so, go out, rally, and start valuing your women more. Though it will benefit everybody. Thank you. That was bad.
Video recording by me, Sheriden's friend.